According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, up to 70% of adults that live to be 65 years or older will need long-term health services and support before they pass on. You may be asking yourself about the pros and cons of long-term care insurance as you approach these senior years. Well, here to ensure we have all of the details covered is Colin Evans from Evans Financial Group. Colin, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us again.
Yes. So for those of our audience who don't know what long-term care insurance is, why don't you go ahead and explain it?
Well, you know, when it comes to a critical stage in life, as we get to our older years, there is a high probability that, a nursing home care might be needed, or maybe possibly home health care of something along those lines. And, a lot of people don't plan for that or prepare for that, thinking, it can't happen to me or it's not going to happen to me. But reality is, when we're looking at 65–70% of the population is going to need it to some extent.
That's a high probability.
Or some sort. And what throws a little bit of a curveball in it is a lot of the companies that offer it have moved out of the marketplace. When I started in this industry in 2000, there were 100+ companies that offered it, and now there's less than 12.
Wow.
Which blows me away. But a couple of the pros that are out there is it can give a sense of financial security of knowing that you've got this capability in the event that something were to occur, that we're able to pick and choose, and we're not having to use a government-assisted nursing facility, and you might be able to choose whom I want for home health care, or maybe this is the nursing facility that I'm looking for. It gives you a greater choice, and it gives you a greater control a little bit of your life. And another great benefit of that too is really going to be for family members. When family members are kind of stepping up to the plate, that are helping out, there can be a point in time that burnout occurs. It's like they're getting drained, and we've got a little bit of a phrase called the sandwich generation, and that's parents that are helping their parents, but as they're helping them adjust in older age, but they're also raising kids. So it's kind of, they're giving them trying to balance their life as I'm raising my kids as well as trying to help take care of my parents as they age. Now, as we're kind of going through that, it's got a couple cons that go along with it, and some of the cons that are out there, the biggest one we see time and time again is cost. It's not cheap. And a lot of times we see it time and time again when people are asking about it or inquiring, they're saying, hey, I need to research and look into long-term care. That typically already kind of gives us a clue that are you possibly already needing it, or are you foreseeing it in the future? It's like trying to buy, homeowners insurance when your kitchen's on fire. We already see some things like that are coming in there. And, we have a lot of coverage limitations that are going to be out there that are offered by carriers. It could be waiting periods of how long do you have to wait before this coverage kicks in? Are there certain underwriting requirements with the health of how you are right now, and can you even qualify to get it? And then, like I said, that will revert right back into the cost of this as, as we age, things are going to get more and more expensive, and the
with
cost
inflation.
You got to factor inflation into that, the cost of living that rolls out in there. This stuff's going to get expensive. So, right before we came on, you had just mentioned a lot of the companies that are offering hybrid things that are out there, and we are seeing that more and more, especially like on your life insurance side, that are kind of balancing a little bit of long-term care in with a life insurance policy to help offset it, so you can get some of those funds prior to passing away or prior to death.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Colin, for talking to us about the pros and cons of long-term care insurance, and for breaking that down in bite-sized information bits. We appreciate that.